Welcome back to the channel, my name is Oliver and today we want to talk about how shiny Pokemon actually work in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Whether you're a full-blood shiny hunter or a story player, if you play this game for a long period of time you will most likely come across some sparkling shiny Pokemon. But how do shiny Pokemon work in Legends Arceus? If you understand the mechanic behind the game's code, you will know the answer to this question, but most importantly you will also know exactly what to do when you find shinies. You know the limits of what you can do when you find them and what you must not do to avoid shiny fails. Before we jump into the mechanic behind shiny Pokemon, let's first have a look at the important key facts. Everything in this game is shiny locked except wild Pokemon. Those, including non-story scripted alpha Pokemon, can be shiny. Base odds are 1 in 4096 for any wild Pokemon spawn, but there are many easy ways to increase the odds. I'm sure many of you already know about the different types of odds, so in case you don't, please feel free to just pause the video and read through. So, let's jump behind the scenes of Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game uses something called Map Seed to generate all wild Pokemon when you leave from Jubilife Village to a specific area. The moment you leave Jubilife Village, this Map Seed gets generated and randomly decides which Pokemon species will spawn where. On top of this, the game uses a queue-based generation system, which means the order of respawns is also already determined the second you leave Jubilife Village. To show you what this actually means, here's an example. Let's assume there's an area at the beach with only Magikarp spawns. Once you leave Jubilife Village, the map seed generates several Magikarp in a queue and spawns them accordingly. The lead of the queue is the Magikarp you will encounter first if you go to the location it spawns. It will stay the same Magikarp until it gets either despawned or until a new map seed gets generated. Knowing this, we can make use of the queue with the shiny map seed to shiny hunt wild Pokemon. We have two options to shiny hunt the Magikarp in this scenario. We either despawn Magikarp with catching, defeating or scaring it off, so the queue gets advanced. We do this until a shiny spawns. The queue will advance automatically with time, but it can take a while until the next wild Pokemon spawn appears. Luckily, there's a trick to force the spawns on the map: camping. If you rest at the base camp and time travel to the next day, every queue advances if the current lead Pokemon despawned. All other Pokemon that didn't get despawned stay the same though. Note that alpha Pokemon require 2 in-game days to pass before repopulating, so if you specifically want to hunt shiny alpha Pokemon, the second option might be the faster way. With the second option, we generate a brand new queue via going back to Jubilife and back into the wild area until a shiny Magikarp is the lead of the queue. We basically just go into the area, check for any shinies, and if no shiny Pokemon are in the lead spawn, then we generate completely new queues until a shiny appears. For the majority of Pokemon, this second option will be the faster way to shiny hunt. Let's see this in action. Let's go from Jubilife Village into the area. These are the spawns that the map seed generated. You can see there is no shiny in the lead. Obviously, the map seed is not visible to us, so we only can find out about the lead Pokemon if we check them out. After finding out there was no shiny, we travel back to Jubilife Village and go right back into the area to generate a new map seed queue. This time, the game generates a shiny right after the lead spawn. Obviously, the queues are not visible to us, so we actually don't know that a shiny Pokemon is that near to us. We check every lead spawn, didn't find a shiny and go back to Jubilife City. Now we go into the wild area again and wow, this time one of the lead spawns is generated to be shiny. We now just need to find the spawn and catch it. So you see, the game always knows way ahead of us when a shiny will appear on the map. We as the player can only find out about it if we check out all spawns or advance the queue with despawning the lead spawns. We now know how shiny Pokemon get generated, but what to do when we actually find a shiny. Here are some do's and don'ts for when the sparkles happen. As a shiny hunter, I can highly recommend to always turn off autosave. You can do this in the game settings. Because once a shiny appears, you want to save the game. Knowing the shiny will only disappear if we despawn it, we can try to catch it, and if it runs away or defeats you, just reset the game and try catching it again. Closing the game will not despawn the shiny as long as you saved within the current map seed. Every time a shiny spawns near you, the shiny sparkle sound effect happens. You basically want to save your game as soon as you hear this sound. To make sure you're able to hear it clean and nicely, I can recommend to put the effect audio level up to 10, which is at 7 by default. We do have one exception from what we talked about earlier. If you happen to find a shiny Pokemon in the Distortion Room, do not close your game. Shinies in this Distortion Room get generated differently, which means if you find shinies in there, you need to catch them first try. Unless wild shiny Pokemon, shinies in the Distortion Room will actually disappear if you close the game. If you find a shiny Pokemon but don't have any Pokeballs at the moment, which can happen in the beginning of the game, do not encounter the shiny just yet. Go and collect some materials around the map to craft some Pokeballs. As we know, the lead spawn will only change if we go back to Jubilife Village or despawn the current lead. But if you don't interact with the shiny spawn, it will stay on the map as long as you are in the area. Just know that for some of the time-based spawns like Drifloon or Dustox, you must craft the Pokeballs as long as it's night, otherwise those spawns will get replaced with the morning spawns once the new day begins. If you happen to find shiny Pokemon within Mass Outbreaks, make sure to catch them fast, because once the Mass Outbreak disappears, the shiny will despawn as well. There are already a lot of good tutorials out there covering Mass Outbreaks, so if you have more questions about the specific shiny method, feel free to check out the tutorial linked in the video description. And that's it! I hope this video was helpful and maybe cleared up some misconceptions about shinies in Legends Arceus. Knowing the shiny mechanics in this game is key to any successful shiny hunting career, so please feel free to share this video with any friend or any fellow shiny hunter you know who is playing Legends as well. If you happen to have any more questions we didn't answer in this video, definitely make sure to ask in the comments down below. For now, best of luck on your hunts, stay lucky, and until next time in the MKP.